You say you want peace, yet you constantly welcome chaos into your life. You claim to seek strength, but let every trivial thing unravel you. A strange glance from someone sends your thoughts spiraling. You feel invisible when someone doesn't acknowledge you. One message left unseen, and suddenly, your self-worth is under interrogation. You scroll obsessively, can't sleep, filled with anxiety, not because the world is cruel, but because no one ever taught you how to take command of your own mind. Understand this clearly. It's not the events that disturb you, it's your perception of them. This isn't modern psychology talking, it's Epictetus, speaking over 2,000 years ago. He discovered something most of us still fail to grasp. The real war isn't outside you, it's within. And until you conquer that internal battlefield, the external world will continue to control you. You'll feel fragile, off balance, emotionally reactive, like a puppet being pulled by invisible strings. But here's the truth, there is a way out. A path carved by the strongest humans in history. Men who lost everything, power, freedom, even family, but didn't crumble. They stood firm. Not because the world favored them, but because they became untouchable. That's the heart of Stoicism. Not just quotes or aesthetic minimalism. It's the rawest, most demanding form of self-mastery. A philosophy where nothing can break you because you've already broken and rebuilt yourself, brick by brick, thought by thought, until your mind is no longer a slave to the chaos around you. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of the most powerful civilization of his time, could have drowned in indulgence, ego, pleasure, luxury. But he chose a different path. Discipline. He wrote, not for show, not for approval, but as a means to survive his own mind. To anchor himself. To be the rock that stands firm while the storm crashes against it. The waves never stop, but the rock does not move. That's who you must become. A stillness within the storm. A mind that remains rooted no matter how fiercely the winds blow. You think you need motivation? No, you need clarity. You need to recognize a powerful truth. Most of what you suffer from exists only in your head. That insult? Just vibrations in the air. That judgmental look? A twitch of a muscle on someone's face. That message left unread? Silence that you filled with fear. It's not what happened, it's what you told yourself about it. Epictetus said, when something happens, the only thing in your power is your reaction. And if you can master that, truly own it, not by suppressing, but by understanding, then nothing outside you can disturb your peace. You stop being a prisoner of circumstance. You stop being pulled around by every flicker of rejection or chaos. Instead, you become grounded, steady, like a mountain no storm can move. But don't confuse calm with weakness. The kind of calm we're talking about isn't gifted, it's forged. It's built in silence, in solitude, in those brutal inner confrontations where no one's watching. It's created in the exact moments you want to scream, react, strike. But instead, you breathe, you pause, you observe. You watch your mind like it's a wild animal. And you train it, again and again, until it learns to listen. Until it stops jumping at every trigger, every perceived slight. That is power. Most people think discipline means forcing yourself harder. But true Stoic discipline isn't force, it's precision. It's not about domination, it's about discernment. It's the mastery of catching a toxic thought before it pollutes your whole system. It's walking away, not out of fear, but out of elevation. It's knowing your energy is sacred, your peace too expensive to waste on things outside your control. The average person spends their whole life fighting shadows, arguing with people who won't change, begging for validation, chasing things that only drain them. They scream at the world to bend, never realizing the only thing they can truly bend is themselves. But the Stoic? He walks a narrower path. A harder path. The only path that leads to true freedom, changing the one thing you actually have control over, yourself. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How many sleepless nights have you spent reliving imagined betrayals, fabricated arguments, phantom rejections? How many hours have you wasted replaying moments that didn't even happen, or happened once, but you lived them 100 times in your mind? And did all that suffering make you stronger? Or did it just make you bleed longer? The Stoic path doesn't promise a painless life. It's not about avoiding hardship. It's about meeting pain so fully, so directly, that it can no longer own you. You don't escape it. You enter it. You breathe through it. You endure its blade, and you realize it didn't destroy you. You're still here. You're still standing. That realization? That's your armor. That's your awakening. But here's the problem. The modern mind is fragile. And it's not because we're weaker, it's because we've been trained to be soft. Trained to chase comfort. Trained to reach for distraction the moment we feel discomfort. We run from silence. We run from stillness. We run from anything that forces us to face ourselves. But what you run from rules you. And what you face frees you. The truth is, no one can make you feel anything without your permission. You just forgot that you have that power. You forgot you are the gatekeeper. You can choose not to react. You can choose not to explain. You can choose silence. And in that stillness, you reclaim what the world keeps trying to steal, your power. You are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are the awareness behind them. The witness. The one who chooses what to believe, what to feed, and what to let drift away like clouds across a silent sky. So when life comes to test you, and it will, don't flinch. Don't explain. Don't complain. Just observe. Stand your ground. Respond with intention, not emotion. Because there is something sacred about the person who cannot be rattled. Something rare. Something almost divine. It's the quality Marcus Aurelius embodied when Rome burned and enemies circled. It's what Epictetus held onto after being born into slavery. It's what Seneca lived by, even when he was commanded to take his own life. They didn't fold. They didn't lash out at the gods or curse fate. They turned their pain into fire, and their fire into strength. That's the essence of Stoicism. Not cold theory. Not numb detachment. But courage. The courage to hold still when everything else is shaking. The courage to command yourself when the world is out of control. The courage to face loss without falling, to face death without fear. You want nothing to disturb you? Then master the skill that changes everything. Separate what is up to you from what is not. And give your energy only to what you can truly control. That's the blueprint. That's the ancient code passed down by minds that were tested far beyond what most of us will ever face. And it's more vital now than it has ever been. Because today's world is designed to provoke you. To distract you. To shake you. It bombards you with petty drama, false urgency, shallow temptations. It wants to drag you into meaningless arguments, into emotional spirals, into endless reacting. But you weren't built to spiral. You were built to rise. You were built to become something so rare, so grounded, that no circumstance can steal your center. A human being with a mind forged in clarity and strength. A presence that doesn't tremble in chaos, but brings stillness into it. This is the call of the Stoic. Not to retreat from life, but to master it. To walk through the fire, not untouched, but undefeated. To carry scars, not with shame, but with power. To transform every wound into wisdom. Every insult into indifference. Every storm into stillness. Because when you finally understand that peace is not given, it's built, then you stop chasing it in others. You stop demanding it from the world. You create it within yourself. And that kind of peace? That's not fragile. That's not temporary. That's unshakable. That's what they meant when they wrote those words thousands of years ago. Not for likes. Not for attention. But for survival. For transformation. For mastery. So remember, this is not a mindset for the faint-hearted. It's not easy. But it is simple. Stop feeding what weakens you. Stop giving your power away. Hold your mind like a sword, sharp, still, and ready. The storm will always come. The waves will always rise. But if you build yourself right, if you live by this ancient strength, then the world will crash, and you will not. You will remain unshaken. Raise up.